Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Dawn Krush. I'm an organizational psychologist and talent development specialist focusing on leadership development, and I'm the owner of Psych Around the Globe. If you've joined us before, you know a little bit about Psych Around the Globe, but Psych Around the Globe is an organization to bring different fields of psychology and different disciplines of psychology together from around the world. We are building community, so go ahead and subscribe and like the video. Drop a comment below after you listen and let me know what your thoughts are on leadership today. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about how leadership is changing. Leadership is changing in so many significant ways, and we're seeing the research come out in why some of those changes are happening and what some of those changes are. So today, I want to talk a little bit about some of those changes. Recently, in the World Economic Forum, it is showing that, of course, with the rise of AI and technological advances, those skills will be absolutely meaningful in the next 5 years. But in addition to those skills, it's also extremely important to continue to develop your empathy and your creative thinking and your curiosity as a leader. And when I talk about leadership, I talk about leadership being on a continuum. We all drop on a different part of the continuum when we start our leadership journey, but leadership is a part of the growth and development we take. It is no one place that you stay on that continuum. You are showing up with all the information, the knowledge, the research, and the experience that you have in that moment. And then you're able to take that experience, knowledge, and information that you continue to learn to continue to develop your sense of leadership and style. So when I talk about leadership, I talk about it being a continuum that we have to continue to grow on. And all of the studies that are coming out today are showing that the individuals that are currently in the upcoming generations, the younger generations, want to be led extremely different than our older generations see. Another thing that we're seeing is how inclusive leaders are 17% more likely to be considered high performance. They're 20% more likely to make higher quality decisions for an organization. And they're 29% more likely to report being able to collaborate on teams or with other functions within an organization. And inclusion is such a priority to me as a leadership development specialist, as someone who's growing leaders. Inclusivity is extremely important, not only personally, but professionally. And so when we talk about inclusive leaders, we talk about how inclusive leaders show up as being active listeners. We talk about how inclusive leaders value different perspectives. They show a sense of self-awareness and really have the ability to identify their own emotions and create the space for others' thoughts and feelings. It may be difficult for some, and it is a bit uncomfortable if you've never been in an inclusive environment, but guaranteed if we shut our eyes, there has been a moment where we all have felt what it feels like to be excluded from something. So if you're able to take that feeling and then trigger that into your body and mind and think of ways how you want to provide an avenue in which that people don't experience those same things. The third point I wanted to talk about today is resilience. And in 2025, resilience is not just a personal trait, but it is a crucial leadership skill. And leaders are expected to navigate, political uncertainty that we're facing. We have cultural shifts and economic volatility. And so when you are resilient, you are adaptable, you are able to recover and evolve in the face of adversity rather than cowering. And providing stability for other people on your teams or other people within an organization, it really creates not only success for you personally and professionally, but for those around you. Last point I'll make for today is when we talk about leadership and the role that the leader plays, we talk about how leadership evolves both externally and internally. And I talked a little bit about the continuum of leadership, and that's really what we see internally, meaning that we evolve and change. And so this saying, we showing up as our best self, we're showing up as our best self with all the information we have at that time, but how we continue to evolve over time to continue show up as our best self. And that is how leadership changes internally. Externally, we mean that leadership changes because, again, the way in which leaders are leading individuals and the way in which individuals want to be led and they want their leader to show up for them is drastically changing with the younger generations. So we're seeing those generational differences come out through many different events, characteristics, and also it's the way that the individual is showing up in the workplace. So I hope this information was helpful for you. If you know anything about leadership or you're looking to learn more, drop a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know what feedback you have. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thanks for joining.